Recently, there have been rumors that KVD Beauty is closing, and a few weeks ago we talked about how there really isn't any evidence to support that, but what we found out this week is that it seems like Kat Von D, who started KVD Beauty, wishes that they were closing.
This way, Doja, this way!
Okay, heads up, if you happen to own a beauty fridge that is branded with Paris Hilton's name, it might catch on fire. And I'm trying really hard not to make a that's hot joke.
It's wild, y'all. Wait till you see this. She did this pop-up in New Jersey's American Dream Mall. Now, American Dream Mall is the second largest mall in the US, only second to Mall of America. Apparently, according to them, Salish brought in 80,000 people through the day. Doors opened at 6 a.m., they closed at 10 p.m. So during that time period, 80,000 people came into the mall that day.
Hello, my friend. Welcome back to What's Up in Makeup, where we talk about everything that happened across the beauty industry all in one place. I've done the digging, I have done the searching, and I have done the script writing so that you do not have to. But before we get into this week's news, we need to take just a moment to thank this week's sponsor, MIDI Health. I am 47 years old, and in that, I need medical care for my changing body, but it's not always easy to get that. I want to tell you a quick story. It is a true story, and I'm curious whether it resonates with you and something maybe you've been through. So I had a friend, and my friend recommended a general practitioner to me, and I went, and she was amazing. I loved her, but in that, she was very popular, and it was really difficult to get appointments with her. I'm talking 2 to 3 months for like a 30-minute checkup. Now, one time I accidentally scheduled an appointment for a time I was going to be out of town. So I called up, they bumped me to the back of the line, and they said it was going to be 5 months before I could get an appointment. By then, my blood work was going to be out of date. I was like, this is ridiculous. And that's when I remembered that I had an email in my mailbox from MIDI Health, and they wanted to do a sponsorship with me. So without telling anyone, I went over to the MIDI Health website and I booked a visit with one of their clinicians, because I don't like to recommend things to you that I haven't tried myself, and I wanted to just experience it. But what I realized that was different when I was talking to her was that she wasn't only looking at my blood work, she was listening to me. When I told her that my brain fog was getting worse and that my sleep was absolute crap and that I wasn't able to sleep through the night. I was waking up with night sweats and having to use the restroom in the middle of the night, and my sleep was terrible and it was affecting me mentally. After she listened to me, she tweaked my medication just a little bit, and she said to me, "You're gonna feel so much better by the time I meet with you next." And honestly, I was a little bit skeptical because it wasn't that big of a change. Oh my goodness. I feel so much better. And I was like, what is that? This is amazing. That is when I emailed MIDI Health back and I was like, yes, I would love to do this sponsorship. Thank you. Long story short, way too late. What your body is telling you is real. And that's what MIDI specializes in, the simple act of listening and not just prescribing medication just to give it to you, but to make sure it matches your individual unique needs. There's no membership fees, there's no hidden costs, and they bill your insurance just like any other medical care. Over 90% of their patients report that they've seen improvements in symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats, trouble sleeping, and changes in mood. Beyond that, people also report that they see significant improvement in brain fog, memory lapses, as well as hair and skin changes. MIDI Health believes in the simple fact that providing good healthcare is a good business model. Who would have thunk it? And that it doesn't have to be expensive or complicated in order to work well. It just needs to be science-backed and uniquely designed for you. We do not need to suffer this reverse puberty that is perimenopause alone. MIDI Health has our back, and there are clinicians ready to listen to you. Click the link in the video description or go directly to trymidi.com/genlove to schedule your virtual visit and join the more than 200,000 of us who have trusted MIDI Health with our healthcare. I know I am very thankful that I did.
Before we get started, I know a lot of you have been loving this, so I'm going to just keep doing it every week. I want to show you all of the topics we're going to be talking about today. It is so much. This show is packed with a bunch of little stories, a bunch of little updates for you. So much going on. So if you aren't interested in a story, feel free to skip that one and go to the next one. Timestamps will be down below. And if you're watching in a place where you can see the ticker bar at the bottom, you'll be able to see where those breaks are and skip ahead there. I'd much rather you do that than click out of the video. Best option, watch the whole thing. But I don't want to waste your time in a story that you're not interested in. And with that being said, let's get started with our very first story having to do with an update from the Ulta Beauty story from 2 weeks ago about the lawsuit that they've gotten themselves involved in.
This is the one where Ulta is being sued specifically for race discrimination, national origin discrimination, and retaliation by managers at an Ulta Beauty store in Plano, Texas. There was a sales manager there named Nassim, and Nassim says that she was treated horribly by the other managers in the store. They were making fun of her because she is from Iran and because she speaks English with an accent. First thing I want to do is clarify something that I said 2 weeks ago about Plano. According to the census, there are more white people in the town than any other nationality, but there are other people of other nationalities that live there, including a 23% Asian population. The new information this week is that Ulta has now filed 2 things with the lawsuit. The first one was asking for an extension that was not contested by Nassim's lawyer, and then they asked for another extension in order to kind of get the story together to present their side. At least that's what it seems to be. Now, the deadline, the new deadline, is September 22nd, which in my time, and if you're watching this right when this video goes live, is tomorrow. So we should get a lot of information tomorrow. Hopefully it won't be another extension because I am nosy and curious about what's going to happen next in this story. And this story blew up on my TikTok. If you are on TikTok, I would love for you to join me over there. It's kind of short bits of the stories that I'm talking about here in What's Up in Makeup, and also some other fun things thrown in. But yeah, people were really interested in the story. And what I found fascinating was that it was a lot of former Ulta Beauty employees chiming in on how they had similar experiences with managers at Ulta Beauties, that apparently Ulta Beauty is not a great place to work according to these people. Of course, there are probably people that had a lovely time working for the company that did not chime in, but overwhelmingly people were saying that the management system and the way they cultivate managers through Ulta Beauty is just, it lends itself to a mean girl attitude. And I was surprised because I did not know that. And because there are so many comments, what that says to me is that Ulta probably needs to really look into this, that this isn't an isolated situation with Nassim, that there's something going on in their stores that they need to address to encourage a culture of inclusivity and kindness where everyone feels welcome and safe to work there. I don't feel like that is too much to ask. So no matter what happens in this case, hopefully it's something that Ulta looks into. But as far as the lawsuit itself, I will definitely keep you updated on what happens next. Recently, there have been rumors that KVD Beauty is closing, and a few weeks ago we talked about how there really isn't any evidence to support that, but what we found out this week is that it seems like Kat Von D, who started KVD Beauty, wishes that they were closing. Last week on Instagram, she posted to her personal Instagram stories this statement: "Just a gentle reminder, I sold my makeup line years ago and have absolutely nothing to do with it in any way. Thank you for not tagging me in makeup posts, and please don't send me complaints or customer service questions. I hope one day they throw in the towel or change the name to make this confusion finally go away, as I truly hate being associated with that company in any way. Lots of love to you all. XO Kat." But this is not the first time that Kat has spoken out against KVD Beauty and wanting to be separated from the brand. When they rebranded for the second time, Kat said similar things. Remember, they were Kindness, Vegan, and Discovery and Doing Good. That was their first rebrand. The second rebrand, which you may not even remember, I actually forgot about this, was Kindness, Veritas, Decora, which apparently in Latin means value, truth, and beauty. So after that second rebrand, somebody had asked Kat what she thought of the new name, and Kat responded, "I've absolutely nothing to do with that brand, and to be honest, wish they'd changed the name altogether already so I wouldn't be associated with it." But again, no evidence to show that they are closing. Just kind of a little bit of a slowdown on socials, things being on sale here and there, but if anything does happen, I'll let you know. Hello, editing Jen. It looks like Kat Von D is not going to get her wish. Turns out, 2 days ago, KVD Beauty was acquired by a company called Winsong Global, and this is the first time that Kendo, who is KVD Beauty's parent company, has sold a company. Usually they retire them. Think Bite Beauty, think Marc Jacobs Beauty, but oh no, they have sold it. This part is wild because as part of Winsong, KVD is joining Bell Brands. It's a platform that the private equity firm started last year with JVN Hair and Pipette. And get this, Bell Brands is looking to rebrand KVD for a third time by the second quarter of next year. According to Beauty Independent, the company is in the process of dramatically reducing KVD's roster of stock keeping units from 300 plus to just 50, focusing heavily on the eye and lip product categories that have been holding the business together. Apparently, their tattoo liner is responsible for the vast majority of their current sales. So that is the latest news. I had to throw that in. Now back to the video. Another lawsuit update, this time in indie beauty land. The last time we talked about this was March of 2025, and it involves Vampyre Cosmetics. I'll play you a clip from that show to get you caught up.
What it comes down to is that if you have an open order with Vampyre Cosmetics or their sister company, which is called Phoenix Rising Cosmetics, you should contact your bank or however you paid, PayPal, whatever, immediately, because the owner of Vampyre Cosmetics and Phoenix Rising is telling you, please contact your bank and ask for a chargeback. Like they're even telling you to do that because they are not shipping any more products, and they said that they will not be issuing refunds. I'm telling you, it's a wild story. This is how it goes. So another lawsuit is what it comes down to. So the company is run currently by a woman named Rachel Kleinsmith, and apparently Vampyre Cosmetics went under in 2024, and a former owner whose name is Karen Hilton, allegedly, according to Rachel, stole from the business, then turned around and sued Rachel when she tried to take legal action. Rachel said that in mid-2023, they introduced an outside bookkeeping firm to help figure out, what was going on. And in that, they figured out that Karen was stealing from the company. Specifically, they, quote, uncovered evidence of fraud and embezzlement, and that this led to significant financial problems with the brand, manufacturing delays, and now a complete shutdown. So if you had ordered the Dungeons and Dragons collection and then had some issues getting that collection, she's saying that is why that happened. And I was able to find the lawsuit for this, and it is messy. It is messy, messy, messy. Oh my gosh. So this is the deal. Karen was the chief operating officer for the brand. And according to the lawsuit, she was a big financial backer for Vampyre Cosmetics. According to the court documents, Karen and Rachel both owned 37.5% of the brand. And then there was a third partner that they had brought on named Lisa Malcolm. But since then, Lisa is like, I don't want anything to do with this. She gave her shares to Rachel and was like, you have it. I don't want anything to do with this. Karen claims in the lawsuit that she not only helped create the products, but loaned her own money to keep the brand afloat and even let the company use her personal credit card to get more funding. Then, in June of 2023, Karen says Rachel and Lisa froze her out of the company, cut off her access to bank accounts, financial records, emails, and internal chats, and refused to let her see the books. And now she's accusing them of fraud. So in Rachel's timeline, it seems logical. It doesn't say this, but it seems logical that the reason why they locked Karen out is because they said that this company found that Karen was stealing from them. So Karen's lawsuit against Vampyre Vampyre Cosmetics alleges that they took out loans using her personal information without permission, stole her intellectual property to create and sell new products, and diverted company funds to another business owned by Rachel called Undead Magazine. And of course, Karen's story directly contradicts Rachel's story in that the lawsuit is just retaliation from a former owner who stole from the company.
So here's what's happened since March. No filings at all until about a month ago when they had a hearing. And apparently Karen, who is the one who filed the lawsuit suing Vampyre Cosmetics, didn't show up for the hearing. She didn't show up and her lawyers didn't show up either. And in a response, the court was basically like, what the fuck? Why didn't you show up? Not in those exact words, of course. Rachel's lawyer filed to ask the court, hey, should they be punished for not showing up? Should they be fined? Should we drop the lawsuit altogether? The next day, on the Vampyre Cosmetics / Phoenix Rising website, Rachel made an updated statement. It reads, it's been about 2 years since I learned my business partner was stealing from the company. She's talking about Karen. It's been a little over a year since the lawsuit that ensued following the discovery forced the business to close deep in debt to our customers and vendors with no clear path forward. As soon as I am safely able to, and for transparency reasons, I will be publishing all the court documents and proof I have online. We just had another court date yesterday on August 18th, and Karen and her attorneys were a no-show. The judge may dismiss the case entirely on the next court date of September 17th. If so, we will be free to move forward and work on cleaning up this mess and finding a way to get everyone refunds for their orders, because there were people who had just ordered their big Dungeons and Dragons collection that never got their products, and Rachel went onto her socials and was like, please do a chargeback on your cards. We're not going to be able to get you your products. We're not going to be able to get you your money. It was a whole mess. So if you're keeping up with the date, September 17th was this past week. Now, I can't see the actual court documents, but what I can see are the summaries. The first thing filed was Karen's lawyer explaining why they weren't there. Then the next filing is the judge choosing to pause proceedings, but not because Karen wasn't there, but because Rachel has declared bankruptcy. And what I'm thinking here is that it's like, why are we having a suing situation with somebody that's going through bankruptcy? Because if she doesn't have any money, there's no way that Karen can get blood from a stone, you know? But it is clear that Karen does want this to continue as long as Rachel has the money to get from her. We know that because there was a filing from Karen's side on September 10th for a continuance. Next update is most likely going to be in February of 2026. That's when the judge has pushed things ahead to check on Rachel. Hey, are you bankrupt? Do you have money for Karen to take from you? And that's when we'll find out more whether this will continue, whether it'll be dismissed. But sadly, if you are one of those unfortunate people that does have an outstanding order with Vampyre Cosmetics or Phoenix Rising, you're still in limbo as of now. I'm so sorry to inform you. But again, for the third time, I'll keep you posted. The MTV VMAs were on September 7th, and when Doja Cat was walking the red carpet, something very strange happened that made people just kind of go, what? Did she just do that? Let me show you.
This way, Doja, this way.
In 2025, we know we can't really believe anything we see these days, so what exactly was that? It was chocolate. We also found out that it wasn't just chocolate, it was caramel-filled chocolate made to look like a MAC lipstick. The point of it? An advertisement for MAC and the fact that Doja Cat is now a face of MAC. The lipstick was specifically made to mimic Doja's favorite shade from MAC called Lady Danger. And it was made by chocolatier Amaury Gichon, which I was like, oh my gosh, I've seen this guy before. If you've never seen him on Instagram, he's amazing. Like, honestly, this lipstick is probably the least impressive thing I've ever seen him make. And it's really impressive. You just have to see the rest of his socials in order to see what I'm talking about. Like, yes, it's cool, but he makes things that are like next level amazing. Would never know that it's chocolate until you break into it. It's incredible.
role. In Doja's new role as the face of MAC, Launch Metrics reported that the media stunt drove $2.8 million in media impact value for MAC. Basically, they measure how much it would cost to pay for the advertising that this generated for people talking, for the buzz, and they generated the value at $2.8 million because so many people were talking about this across so many news outlets and social media. But MAC has been busy. They also launched a new product. It is an artistry belt bag in collaboration with fashion designer Raul Lopez and his company Luar. They say it is, quote, dedicated to the visionaries who create the looks. It is a limited edition faux ostrich leather bag with tons of pockets and a compact mirror. It is currently available on the MAC website for $100. But again, they're not done because they had a bit of a rage bait moment in another face for MAC Cosmetics as of now, and that's Kris Jenner. They posted this photo of Kris on their Instagram, and it's meant to promote the MAC Studio Fix shade NC20. Yes, it's black and white, and yes, it appears to be retouched. So of course the comments, everybody was outraged. Why are you promoting a foundation with a black and white retouched picture? This doesn't make any sense, yada, yada. You know how it goes. So they did eventually post a full color photo of her, but it was just, in my opinion, to create some buzz surrounding it. But Kris Jenner is also now a face of MAC. So they are coming out hard with their marketing. We'll just have to see whether it translates into sales for the company. Okay, heads up, if you happen to own a beauty fridge that is branded with Paris Hilton's name, it might catch on fire. And I'm trying really hard not to make a that's hot joke because it's serious. It's a serious thing, but also that's hot. I couldn't help it. I had to do it. But here are the details. They're made by a company called Epoca, E-P-O-C-A International, and they sold at US Walmart and Ross stores, as well as Amazon and some other retailers. They've recently been recalled over safety fears, with customers told to stop using them immediately. Apparently, there's an electrical switch that's defective, and it can short circuit, causing it to overheat, which poses a risk of fire and burns. And they sold a lot of these, 110,000 of them, and it includes the 4-liter model in pink, white, aqua, and hot pink, as well as the 10-liter model in pink and white. The affected units were manufactured before August 2024, and they feature Paris Hilton branding on the front. I will put the affected serial numbers on the screen for you. They'll also be in a link down below for you to check your beauty fridge if you happen to own one of these. Sometimes the serial number is on the back of the fridge, sometimes it's on the bottom. It just depends on the model. The CPSC said that they are aware of 27 of these beauty fridges catching on fire, which is wild. Thankfully, there have been no injuries that have been reported, but there has been evidence of property damage, including the unit itself and surrounding areas being burned. Anyone with the affected units is being told to stop using it immediately and to, of course, unplug it. Again, I will link the recall notice and the refund information down in the video description. In business news this week, we have a few acquisitions, and this is important because when we have big investors going into a company, sometimes things change a lot. Sometimes things stay similar, kind of the same, but it's good as a customer to know when these acquisitions are happening so you can keep an eye on these brands for any changes that you may not like, and you'll understand why they're happening. Usually the acquisitions happen so that the brands can scale and be able to be available in more retailers, and that's what's happening with these 3 acquisitions. The first acquisition is the skincare brand Byoma. A majority stake in the brand was acquired by Bansk Group, a customer-focused private investment firm, quote, dedicated to building distinctive consumer brands. But Byoma wasn't independently run before. Banks actually acquired Byoma from Yellowwood Partners, which is another private equity firm. Terms of the transaction were not disclosed. Byoma Byoma joins Amika and Eva NYC, who went through similar acquisitions in 2022. Following the close of the transition, Byoma will continue to be led by the founder and CEO, Mark Elric, and the existing leadership team. Next up, NUDESTIX. I feel like NUDESTIX really had its day, its prominence in that big beauty boom, but I haven't heard a ton about them since then. Maybe if you're in different circles, different corners of the internet, you've heard about them more, but I'm hoping this will give the brand a refresh. The brand was actually started by two sisters and their mom back in 2014. Allie and Taylor are the sisters, Jenny is the mom. Apparently, Jenny and Taylor are going to stay on after the acquisition. NUDESTIX said in a press release that the acquisition is happening alongside, quote, temporary operational shifts, including limited marketing activity, challenged inventory buys, and team restructure, but that they are hoping that this will pull them in a position to reignite its momentum and deliver an even stronger consumer experience. How'd y'all feel about NUDESTIX? Do you actively buy things from NUDESTIX? Are they in the front of your mind? I haven't thought about them in a long time, so I'm hoping this will be, like I said, a reinvigoration of this brand. Finally, we have luxury retailer Cosbar. They've been acquired by a Michigan-based firm called Mitchell Family Office, or MFO. Apparently, they were going to sell to Violet Grey. It really looked like it was going to happen, and then at the very last second, MFO jumped in and scooped up the company. Cosbar declined to comment on the switch up by press time for the article that's linked down below. They operate 21 stores from Aspen to Los Angeles to New York, and they are popular with luxury clients in the beauty market. Oliver Garfield, who is second generation in this company, will remain in his role as CEO. And I have something really embarrassing to tell you. I've heard of Cosbar, but I have never once visited their website until this week when I was checking it out. Is this something that you're familiar with? I feel like it's probably really popular in luxury circles, which I am not in. So if you are a Cosbar fan, what do you think about this acquisition? Let me know. Meanwhile, in beauty, let's do a little segment on brands that are crushing it. And we are going to start with One Size Beauty by Patrick Starr. Even though Patrick doesn't own this company outright, he does have a parent company. He is very much the face of this brand. When you think of One Size, what's the big product that you think of? What would you say their hero product is? If you said the On Till Dawn setting spray, you are absolutely right. That's what we learned about this week. So there is a company called Yipit Data, and they track customer transactions across the beauty industry using a proprietary panel of more than 11 million US consumers, and they found that One Size's On Till Dawn waterproof setting spray is the #1 makeup product in the entirety of the United States. I knew it was popular, but holy crap, that is wild. The ranking is based on consumer spend by individual SKU during the first half of 2025. At its only retailer, Sephora, the setting spray has ranked among the retailer's top 5 makeup brands year to date through July of 2025. That just blows my mind. Honestly, it's great to see an influencer-led brand doing so well. I know that this product expanded really far because of Rihanna wearing it at the Super Bowl, and people just seem to really love this setting spray. I don't use setting spray, so I've never used it. Isn't that weird? I don't like the way setting spray feels on my face, so I've never tried it, but I know a lot of y'all love that product, and you're probably not surprised at this news. The next brand that we're going to talk about that is crushing it, apparently, is RHODE Beauty. As you know, they just launched at Sephora, and apparently it has been a really big deal both online and in stores. RHODE accounted for 2.8% of the share of the total skincare sales on Sephora.com from September 4th to September 7th, placing it in the 10th spot in the skincare category, only behind The Ordinary, Sephora Collection, Laneige, Glow Recipe, Beauty of Joseon, Summer Fridays, Tower 28, Touchland, and Biossance. The biggest seller, could you guess?
The peptide lip tint nourishing glaze and the glazing milk came in a close second. RHODE was in 18th place on Sephora's website. Remember, they have hundreds of brands over there. 18th place on Sephora's website in the makeup category with 1.9% of the total online makeup sales. The star item there was their pocket blush, with the product taking the 11th spot in Sephora's makeup category. Now, this company, Navigo, that collected all of this data, they don't track in-store sales. However, their buzz has been buzzing on both Reddit and TikTok for people that work in Sephora stores, talking about lines out the door of people waiting to come in to purchase the RHODE Beauty products, people doing the online ordering pickup in-store option. Just can't keep it on the shelves, apparently. A store associate on Reddit, her name is Shan Graykin, wrote, "We had a line going down our building. Over 100 BOPIS, is it called BOPIS? Bop it. No, it'd be the buy online pickup in store before we opened and have already sold out of half the products. At least today is going by fast." There's also this TikTok, and I will link the creator down below, that posted this video of all the people coming in to shop for the RHODE Beauty products. One thing I found really interesting is it looks like all these women could be sisters. Don't they all look so similar? Am I surprised? Absolutely not. It's just an observation. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just an observation that they all look real similar. I guess Haley knows her demographic. She's marketing to them well. I cannot hate on that. A final brand crushing it for this week is the Gen Alpha targeted skincare brand that just launched at Ulta. It's called Sincerely Yours. And when I tell you I've never heard of this girl that is the face of this brand, I have never heard of her, but she is apparently very popular. My 14-year-old son knows who this girl is. It's just not my generation, apparently. So if you do not know her, allow me to introduce you to Salish Matter. Again, she's 15 years old. She started off actually on her dad's YouTube channel. He was doing mostly like photography for dancers, like in subway stations, really cool photography. And he earned about close to 2 million subscribers on YouTube on his own, but then he started doing more like family vlog style and featuring Salish on his channel. And now he has 35 million subscribers on YouTube. Now Salish has her own channel spinoff that she has done, and I watched a few videos. I don't get it. I'm not meant to get it. I am not the demographic. Point is, she has a very strong following on YouTube, but she has an even bigger following on Instagram, 4 million followers there compared to her 3 million followers on YouTube and her 2.9 million followers on TikTok. The launch video for this brand has 7.3 million views. So, point is, launch day comes. It's wild, y'all. Wait till you see this. She did this pop-up in New Jersey's American Dream Mall. Now, American Dream Mall is the second largest mall in the US, only second to Mall of America. The mall is 3 million square feet. It is freaking huge, right? So they have these pop-up events at American Dream Mall, and the previous record set for attendance for one of these pop-ups was Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast brought in 10,000 attendees to his event. Apparently, according to them, Salish brought in 80,000 people through the day. Doors opened at 6 a.m., they closed at 10 p.m. So during that time period, 80,000 people came into the mall that day. Apparently, it was kind of a huge mess because they had like a ticketing system where it was free tickets, but they wanted to get kind of a head count for how many people were going to show up. And 3 times that number of people actually showed up. It was reported that there were kids camping out all night in order to be first in line. I'm talking 2, 3, 4 a.m. laying out by the mall so they can get in to see her. And when they did, the first 100 people were able to meet Salish. She also gave out about 20,000 pieces of her new line. They've also just launched at Sephora. So of course the stock at Sephora almost immediately sold out as quickly as people could go in and purchase it. Just absolutely wild. I don't know if you remember the times of Debbie Gibson and Tiffany going into malls and performing and the madness that was. It was a whole thing of my youth, but this takes it to a whole different level because the malls are bigger.
I was just absolutely shocked, like looking out at this, like I can't even imagine how overwhelming that must have been for a 15-year-old to see. Apparently it was so crowded that the police actually told Salish that she wasn't allowed to go back out because they were worried that either she would get hurt or there would be some kind of mob trampling, somebody else would get hurt. So she actually snuck out the back door and ended up leaving pretty early. Anyway, beyond that, let's talk a little bit about Sincerely Yours and why I personally think this is going to be a huge hit beyond this first launch. So according to Beauty Matter, Sincerely Yours was built in consultation with a teen advisory board and paired with input from dermatologists and a medical board. They do have an adult CEO. Her name is Julia Strauss. She says that the brand has simple routines, a barrier-friendly, clinically tested formulas, and a voice that feels real. And I think that's where this really resonates with kids in that they feel like Salish is a real kid. She's not a Hollywood kid. She's quirky, she's got a good personality, and she's not perfect. You know what I mean? She doesn't seem manufactured. She seems like a real kid. And this is where I think they really did a good job. Check out this packaging. Doesn't it look like if Drunk Elephant and Sol de Janeiro and for the one product Touchlands kind of had a baby and made this product? Because those are the products that are popular with kids her age, and laying into the science-backed, dermatologist approved, made specifically for kids, but not in like a I'm a small child way, but in a way that kids can resonate with. It'll also resonate with parents who'd be willing to buy it. Except for there's one little caveat in that it is kind of expensive for something made for kids. Products range from $22 to $28 per product. The full 4-step routine is $100. One thing I thought that was really smart that they did as well was that they're selling a travel trio. It comes with one full-size product and 2 travel sizes for $38, so kids can get like a sampling of the products without shelling out a full $100. Products are now live over on the Sincerely Yours website, Sephora.com, and in 384 Sephora stores. So I'm going to put on my mom hat for a second. I think this is a genius marketing plan. I think that it's really smart. Clearly, a lot of kids are excited and interested in this line. My concern is Salish herself. This is a lot of pressure to put on a 15-year-old. And I just personally, not knowing her for family situation, I just hope that she has a really good, strong support system because it's a lot. And if she smokes weed, or if she gets in a fight with someone publicly, or if anything goes wrong where she says something off color, it's going to tank the entire brand. So that's a lot of pressure for a 15-year-old who is a whole child. So that's my only concern about this brand. But overall, I just want to congratulate the team over at Sincerely Yours and Salish herself for this amazing launch. And I hope that they have continued success. So that was the good news. Are you ready for the bad news? Because not every brand is doing well. And we're going to start with Goop by Gwyneth Paltrow, not the main line, but the one that was available in Target called Good Clean Goop. Gwyneth is officially discontinuing the skincare, hair care, and body care brand after less than 2 years on the market. This also ends Goop's relationship with Target. Their main line is available at Ulta Beauty. Apparently, the line struggled to gain traction in the store. I talked about it in live chat last week, and there were a couple people that had worked at Target that were commenting that the stuff was never restocked, that they never had to put new product on, that nobody was buying it in their stores. And data seems to back that up as well. According to the article down below, apparently the line struggled to gain traction and was in the bottom 15% of beauty brands at Target. Yikes. Another brand struggling right now is Serena Williams' brand WYN Beauty. Apparently their strategic partner, they were called Good Glam Group. They closed in July, which is bad. I remember looking at this back when they launched and thinking that it was an unusual partnership because Good Glam Group was based in India. They only had Indian companies, and to break into the US market with Serena Williams, I thought was just different. I'd never seen anything quite like that, and I was wondering how it was going to iron out. So apparently, according to the articles that are online, Good Glam Group, when they started with WYN Beauty, they were already struggling and already in debt because they had this, it was kind of like this the story of ABH that we were talking about, that they were huge. They had an over $1 billion valuation in India with their current brands. They were doing really, really well. And then it seems like they kind of overextended themselves. So WYN Beauty was a way to get back some of that money in order to get back on their feet. But the products just didn't sell. Beauty Independent reports that WYN Beauty's products are being discounted heavily at Ulta Beauty, and that the brand's sales have declined since it launched at Ulta exclusively in 685 locations online in April of last year. They also report that WYN has been plagued by both organizational challenges and a lackluster response from consumers. Last October, a TikToker named Riera Gray posted this video to her feed, and it basically breaks it down of what was going on at the time with this company.
Hey y'all, it's your favorite Ulta girly here, and let's see what project I'm doing today. So I decided I want to take WYN Beauty out of these drawers because I've just cleared that one out. 3 drawers full of WYN Beauty, and I'm sorry, Serena Williams, but it does not sell. So we're gonna stack these boxes up and put them in the back, cause honey girl, this ain't selling. We've been had this since it launched. Okay, boom, we are all cleared. Rest to go in the back. But yes, WYN Beauty, the packaging, perfect, on point with brand. This setup is so gorgeous, but I don't know. It's not getting to the people. The people are not buying. I don't think a makeup brand is for everybody, because I don't think people relate to you as a makeup girly or guru. So, and then the foundation, I think it needs to be reformulated. That's it. That's all. It's sad to see that literally we don't get anybody that buys this.
The article linked down below reiterates kind of what Riera is saying, that the displays were absolutely gorgeous, but it can't just be about pretty displays. It has to be about marketing. It has to be about sharing the products, and it has to be about creating good, high quality products. And a lot of people were complaining about the quality. When I went to Texas to visit my friend Audra, we went into an Ulta together, and Audra swatched the WYN Beauty foundation, and it immediately cracked on them. Like, it really did not look good on their skin at all. According to Good Glam Group's founder and CEO, Darpan Sanghavi, he posted on his LinkedIn and said that the brands will cease to exist under a single entity and will be sold one by one and operated individually. So we don't know if WYN Beauty is going to be sold, if Serena would buy it, but this just goes to show once again, just like some other celebrity brands that have shown to be struggling or, not doing well and falling off. Immediately, I'm thinking Give by Gwen Stefani. Jared Leto had a skincare brand that almost immediately flopped. It's not enough to be a celebrity and launch a beauty line. There has to be more to it. And this seems to be another example of it. And it's really sad because it does seem like branding wise, it had a lot of potential. If you're interested in WYN Beauty products, they are all discounted on Ulta's website at 50% off. All right, are you ready for the product report? I want to share with you some products that have come into my life recently. This one absolutely breaks my heart because I have misplaced it and I'm just really upset about it. So I didn't get to try it. It's totally my fault, but I do want to mention it. Sigma came out with a new mascara and it is their first tubing mascara. It's $28. It looks amazing and I'm just brokenhearted that I couldn't find it to try it. They claim that it gives length and volume and of course the separation of lashes with that brush. They say it won't clump, flake, or smudge. It's designed for all day wear. They have the custom curved brush that hugs lashes from root to tip for maximum lift, and the bottom curve makes the lower lash application easy and mess free. I was so mad. I looked everywhere in all my stuff from Creators and Friends, which is where I got the mascara, and I can't freaking find it. So if I try it, I will definitely update you on it. The other big launch this week that is actually already sold out is the BK Beauty collaboration with Nikki LaRose. It's their Volume 2 collection. I also was kindly gifted this in PR, and I did use it today to get my makeup look, and I had a lot of fun with these brushes. I was watching Nikki's tutorial, not Nikki's tutorials, Nikki LaRose's tutorial as I got ready today to make sure I was using the brushes as intended. And yeah, I really had fun. I will tell you, the standout brush for me was actually this one. This is the N20S brush. And what I really loved this for, which I remember when I was doing a lot of makeup tutorials, people used to get on me about using too big of a brush for just laying down that first crease color that's just slightly deeper than my skin tone. This was perfect for that because it's got these bristles on there that only pick up the slightest amount of product, but as you push, you get that blend of the more packed bristles down below. So it worked out absolutely beautifully for this eye look. By the way, I used the Frozen Kiss palette by Gourmand Girls. This was their holiday launch from last year to get my look today, and this brush just really blew me away. I also really loved bronzing with the N18 brush, and people were asking me when I did this past week the review of the new Details by Tati brushes. That video is on my channel. People wanted to know the comparison between the Tati EX1 and the one by BK Beauty and Nikki. So let me just show you them side by side. So the BK Beauty one is actually slightly larger than the Details by Tati one. It's also more dense. So this one's going to pick up more product. For Tati's is going to be a little more diffused off of the jump. Do you need both of these? Probably not. Both of them just feel amazing. I feel like if I had, they're both really freaking soft. I think it just feels like the BK Beauty one is softer because there's more bristles, but really they're both just give me massages just like this. This is lovely. Another brush from Nikki's set that I really had fun using was the N19 brush. This is supposed to mimic a powder puff. So I use this under my eyes to pat on powder. I also used it to kind of swipe up here in order to clean up my eyeshadow look on the side. The comparable brush from Tati's collection is actually this one. This is Tati's ES2 brush. So the way that this one works is you get a really sharp line here to clean up there, and you can kind of blend it down. So yes, they can be used for similar things, but they are very different brushes overall. I just used these for the first time today and absolutely love them. My full review of the Details by Tati brushes will be down below in case you're curious. And then finally, I got two products from Too Faced. One is on my lips that I absolutely love, and it's this. This is their product. I think it launched in July, the Cloud Crush Whipped Cheek and Lip Color, and I love this. It just gives that beautiful diffused look, and I used the Nikki brush, this one right here, in order to apply it. The N23 brush worked really, really well. It's just so soft and gorgeous. It's got kind of a Korean beauty feel to it where they've got that blotted, soft, diffused, gorgeous lip. That's what you get from this. Really, really nice product. Very soft and moussey on the lips. Extremely comfortable. Now, that being said, this. Too Faced, forgive me, but what the hell is this? I'm sorry if that sounds mean, but what are we doing? Why are we doing this? I was talking to a person who is an influencer who shall remain nameless, and we were DMing, and we both were like, what is happening? This is the new Fairy Bomb limited edition fragrance mist by Too Faced. It looks cheap, it feels cheap, and it smells cheap. And I'm so like, Too Faced, please don't hate me. I'm just being honest here. When you spray it, like it smells like if you know when you leave water out for a while and it kind of gets a little bit of like an aqua kind of scent. Like, it's weird that water isn't supposed to smell like anything, but it kind of smells like water, and then sprinkled in like a floral, sweet kind of scent with it. There is no lasting power on this. I will not be able to smell this in 30 minutes. It will go away. This is a huge fail from Too Faced. From the packaging to the formula inside, this is an absolute no. It is $28. Strong do not recommend. Compared to the lip, absolutely 100% recommend if you like the soft diffused look. This holiday season, we have those same things to look forward to that we have every holiday season. Of course, we're going into apple picking season and pumpkin spice season, which will then turn into holiday lights and gingerbread and all of that. But we are also coming into the season where Stranger Things season 5 is launching, and you know beauty brands are taking advantage of it. We have 2 beauty brands that have launched Stranger Things collections recently. We're going to start with CoverGirl. Prices range from $12 to $16 per product. We have, and if you're a Stranger Things fan, you're going to love these names, the Crawl Face and Eye Multi-Palette, Vecna's Curse pH Transforming Blush in 001 and Creole, the Bite pH Transforming Lip Gloss in Hawkins Lab or Mouth Breather. Then we have the Upside Down Kohl Eyeliner in Fireball Him for Eddie, or Will the Wise. There's also the upside down makeup bag to hold everything. It's all available on Ulta's website now. Along with that, also at Ulta, Sally Hansen has released 3 limited edition nail polishes in collaboration with Stranger Things. They're all the Insta Dry formula. We have the shades Rift, which is a crackle nail polish. I have not seen a crackle nail polish in a minute. This may bring a whole new generation to crackle nail polishes. I feel like they never really took off that hard though, right? We'll see. Second shade is a vibrant red called Squawk, and then the third one is Gather Your Party, and it is Glow in the Dark. They are $8 each, currently on sale on the Ulta website for $5.59. Now, if that doesn't scratch the itch, just want to recommend a couple things from the ColourPop collection that launched last year. The cream blush in Buyers is gorgeous. It's one of the PH blushes, but it is so freaking pretty. And at that price point, I think it's 100% worth it. And also the freaking waffle lip mask. That smells so good. If you like waffle maple kind of scent, highly recommend that one as well. They're both excellent products available on ColourPop's website now. I know I'm like doing this. I don't know what this is. I'm passionate about these products. Celebrity fragrances have been a thing for a long time, and that's because celebrity fragrances sell. And Revlon knows this. They have renewed their contract with Christina Aguilera. Hopefully she can bring back the genie in a bottle for some new fragrances. I did not know this, but reportedly her current fragrances are #1 in women's celebrity fragrances in Germany, and it's expanding across Europe, including the UK, Eastern European and Balkan countries. Revlon and Christina will launch new fragrances in 2026 designed to reach a younger customer. I was like, what? Isn't Christina Aguilera like my age? She's a little younger than me. She's 44. So how, maybe I thought, do kids like Christina Aguilera? Is that a thing? Maybe because she was on The Voice, maybe. I don't know. I feel like they're just, why don't they come after the Gen X's and the millennials, the people that appreciate Christina Aguilera, that were like there for the butterfly clips? I don't know, but they say they're going after the young generation with Christina Aguilera. So we will see. One person that does know her target demographic is Bobbi Brown and her company Jones RHODE. She's looking for people around her age, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. In an interview with WWD, she talked about how the lipsticks were the first thing that she launched with Bobbi Brown and how she had a vision for them, for these creamy, opaque lipsticks, but it was also the 90s, and she feels like that's not something that she wants anymore. She wanted a more natural lipstick. So she launched them on Thursday. There are 12 shades and they are $30 each. Now that she's gotten older, she admits that she doesn't like most lipsticks, and when you look at pictures of Bobbi Brown, very rarely do you see her wearing lipstick. But she said in the article, we started working on a formula to see what I would like. We got a bunch of things, started smushing them together. We didn't want one that was too dense or that was too sheer. We wanted it to feel like it wasn't makeup. What resulted is a product called the Classic Lip. They say it is lightweight, richly pigmented with a satin finish. It features peptides and vitamin E to smooth and condition lips. It is available now on their website. Black woman-owned beauty brands have had a tough year, with the founder of Beauty, Sharon Chuter, passing away and the closing of Ami Collet. It has been rough, but there have also been some wins in that Beauty Bakery and Mented are now under the leadership of KJ Miller, and also how Melissa Butler has really been pushing to keep the lip bar in the forefront of the beauty industry, despite Target being their #1 retailer. But I am here to tell you today that there is another Black woman-owned beauty brand launching, and it is called Damn Mama. Did I say that really? I feel like my complexion just shone through in the way that I said that, but that's what I've got. Anyway, let's talk about Damn Mama. It just launched this week, and it is designed to enhance, captivate, and elevate the beautiful skin tone of melanated women and make a statement. Marketing manager Laura Blackwell said in a press release, "We are incredibly excited to introduce Damn Mama at www.damnmama.com to the world, a beauty brand specifically formulated with brown and Black women in mind." Offering a curated collection of products designed to create a celebrity red carpet glam look for melanated women. The line has eyeshadow palettes, cream and powder blush duos, foundation, concealer, and setting powder combos. I do wish them all the best with their brand. I hope they have a massive amount of success. If you don't know this about me, I like weird shit. I like things that are just make you go, what is that? And that's why I love Isamaya Beauty's branding and the designs of their products. This in particular caught my eye because it's freaking weird and I love it. They've released some new eyeshadow palettes. They're called Core 1 and Core 2, and they are a spin on the brand's sold out industrial palette with updated formulas. They say some of the shades are really sparkly, plus they brought back some of the shades from the original palette. Just like the rest of Isamaya's line, they are vegan and cruelty-free, but weird does come at a cost. They're $110 each. They're available on their website now. Do you have an Ipsy subscription? Because I have not had an Ipsy subscription in a really long time. However, I definitely was very interested in checking out the advent calendar that they just dropped. It's a 25-day advent calendar. It is available on their website now, but only if you are an Ipsy member. There are 15 full-size products in this advent calendar, 10 deluxe size samples. They say it's worth over $600, and they're selling it for $150. Full sizes include Drunk Elephant's Bronzy Drops, Huda Beauty's Blush Filter, Soft Glow Liquid Blush and Bubblegum, Smashbox's Always On Mood Board Eyeshadow Palette in Fiery Vibes, and Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme in Pink Punch. Travel sizes include the Murad Retinol Youth Renewal Serum, the Maison Louis Marie No. 9 Valet de Farnay Perfume Oil, and the Elemis Pro Collagen Green Fig Cleansing Balm. But that's all they're saying. There's still 18 products that they're not sharing in that list that I found. Maybe they're posted somewhere else. That's what I saw. But as far as I know, the rest is a surprise, except for this one photo I was able to find where you can see a product from Olaplex, one from Tatcha, and one from Glow Recipe. I guess the rest is a mystery. Oh, but they are not done. 4 of the advent calendars will have a golden ticket, which is something that seems to be happening with a lot of advent calendars this year. If you find the paper that says you have won, you will get a pair of Varai solitaire studs featuring Varai created half carat stud diamonds. 4 winners, of course, are being chosen at random. It's just gonna be, they're putting them in, they're mailing them out, and that's the way that it's gonna be. I decided I am not subscribing to Ipsy in order to get this, but 2018 me 100% would have. And finally, for our lighthearted story of the week, we all like to smell good. I don't know anybody that likes bad smells, and one of the bad smells that can be in our lives is our dogs, who, you know, sometimes they need a bath, but companies, they want you to buy perfume for your dogs. I have seen more and more dog perfumes recently, but I wanted to share this one with you because of the name of the brand just made me laugh. It's called BICHE. Andrea Pauli was inspired to create the line of dog grooming products for her dog Cam, who she calls a double rescue because he was abandoned twice. And she said she built trust with Cam through their grooming time. Alexandra is a former beauty editor, and she told Business of Fashion, when you're grooming your pet, it's preventative care, but these rituals are really key to building that emotional bond. The first 2 products will be the Après oil conditioner and the Cloud cleanser, priced at $50 and $70 each. This is a steal though, compared to all of the Dolce & Gabbana ones that are coming out that are over $100. They say the difference in their approach is that they're not trying to sell it as a product for the owner, but specifically a product for dog. They have a vet that they're running the formulas by to make sure that they are good for dog skin and that they won't cause irritation. Products are not available yet. They're launching in early 2026, and they say they do have a plan to expand their line to both cats and horses. And all I have to say to this is, yas, biche. I've been waiting the whole show to say that. And that, my friend, was what's up in makeup this week. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, as always, thank you to the What's Up in Makeup Facebook hunters. Their names are scrolling below me. Thank you for all of your submissions this week. I appreciate you so very much. I have there's a lot going on. So first thing is that I have a big announcement that I'm going to make this week that's a personal announcement. No need to worry, but it is a big deal. So I'm going to be announcing that in a video on Friday. The other thing I want to let you know is that I'm going to be missing another week of What's Up in Makeup. And I'm like, why is it all happening all at once? I just feel like I keep missing weeks, and I'm hoping things will even out soon. I got tickets, my whole family, we're going to this big music festival that's local to us, and it's a 3-day festival, and it's all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so there's just no way I'm gonna be able to do What's Up in Makeup next weekend. It cannot happen. No live chat next week either, but I'm hoping that after this week, I don't have anything on the calendar for any weekend, so I'm hoping things will just even out and I'll be able to consistently do What's Up in Makeup for you every single week. So that's going to be the deal for next week, and hopefully things will just start normalizing as we get into fall. But I am still doing live chat today. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern time if you want to join us, or you can catch it on the replay, just hanging out in your subscription feed. If you're subscribed, should just be there, or you can go over to my channel page, click on the live tab. That's where they are as well. But if you'd like to watch something right now that doesn't require you to click anywhere else, YouTube should be recommending 2 videos over here for you. The bottom one is 2 weeks ago's episode of What's Up in Makeup. The top one is going to be a video YouTube thinks that you would love to watch. But if you gotta go, I get it. It is no problem. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon.